Audubon 2456.
State of the Save is back with part 1 of our discussion on Resident Evil 7. Man, this is an episode I'm very excited about. We've been hyping this episode up for the past 3 episodes, a couple File Corrupted, and last episode of State of the Save. With me today, Michael. How things going today, man?
Pretty good, because I am currently taking a break from Resident Evil 7 to talk about Resident Evil 7. So, I'm not getting messed with constantly, so this is good.
I admit that I sort of feel bad
don't.
that I made us play this game, because I play, I think, more scary games than anybody else on the show. But this one, even for me, has been a challenge, and this is going to be a really great episode. I feel like there's just so much cool stuff to talk about here. We also, if you haven't been listening to our File Corrupted, our bonus shows that have been coming out in off weeks, you've really been missing out. Not only is the first one out that had the Doom Eternal talk and the Ancient Gods with our guest Zach, but we also did a show last week with me and Michael ranking the Persona battle themes. It's a really fun show. You don't even need to know anything about the Persona series. I'm not a Persona guy, and Michael has more experience with that franchise than I do. But it's a really fun show. I want to thank everybody also who's been supporting these shows. They've been doing really well. Mm-hmm. And it's been kind of shocking. We were worried that people might not care about some of these things, but people have seemed to enjoy them. So thank you guys. Please continue to support those. We got cool ideas coming up. Also up top, just doing the normal rundown before we jump into all the fun stuff. stateofthesave@gmail.com. You can send in your emails. Tell us what you like about the show, what you want to see more about. Tell us File Corrupted ideas, stuff you want us to talk about. And you can get those messages read on the show. We got a message here from a friend of the show. He's a friend of the show, yeah. Austin, who sent us a really cool message. Yo, I just want to... it would help if I could actually read Austin's message. Yo, I just want you to know I've been listening to every podcast up to maybe the last 2. I got behind. It's okay. We forgive you. But you guys are killing it, man. It inspires me to find new games or just really dig deeper into what I have now. Anyway, y'all killing it, homie. And thank you to our homie Austin. We appreciate it, man. That's a really cool message you sent to us. Like I said, you too can have your messages read on State of the Save at stateofthesave@gmail.com. Just shoot them that way. We always love to hear from everybody. And we appreciate that, it's making people try out new games. That's really my favorite thing about this show is getting people to expand their horizons.
It's getting me to clear games that I'm like, I'll play eventually, because now I am forced to play Resident Evil 7 and not just sitting on my Game Pass queue.
I had this game.
Now I have to. There's an obligation to enter that scary house.
I've had this game on my my hard drive for about 6 months. So to finally be like, okay, hey, we got to play this, and like games like No More Heroes and Grim Fandango, are games I don't think I probably would ever make time to have to play. Mm-hmm. But because of the show, I got to play those games and learned I really enjoyed those. So yeah, it's doing the same thing for us. So we really appreciate it. Before we jump into all the scary epic, which will be this Resident Evil 7 show, Michael, is there any other video games you've been playing that haven't been making you like jump at any noise in your house?
Well, I'm continuing Persona 5 Royal. The end of the first, the main Persona 5 story is in sight. After about 70 hours, I can see that first story coming to a close. The second is the brand new Royal content, which is a new semester, so about 3 more months of story. That's
in real time, too. 3 more months of real time story.
Yeah, pretty much. So, the game started with the casino heist. I am now in the point of the story where we have reached the casino heist, because it kind of jumps back in time at the beginning and go, how did we got here? And I know how we got there now. Oh, Lord. That game goes some places.
I'm excited when you finish that game, because it has been this epic that you've just been slowly chipping away at for months on end.
Yes.
So it's one of those games. It's like when you finish like a really, really thick book. Like, it feels satisfying to stick that thing down on the table and be like, I'm done.
Yeah, it's definitely feeling that way. This is a large, massive journey. I love the characters. I love everything about this game. And was putting the call out to some friends being like, hey, maybe we should do a spoiler cast. Haven't heard back yet. I think the prospect of them sitting in a room talking Persona with me for a couple hours probably terrifies them as much as Resident Evil 7 terrifies me. But
I like the idea, though. Like, yeah, I would love to do that, but I don't have 5 hours to talk about the history of Persona 5.
Yeah, but so if you have any of our listeners played Persona 5 or Persona 5 Royal, in the coming months, I will send the word out. Just write in with your thoughts on that game. I'm trying to get another File Corrupted together where I just sit down. Even if it's just me on a mic rambling like Charlie Day in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Just have all the lines across the wall being like, this links to this, which links to that.
This is why the cat talks.
The cat talks! Charlie, how long have you been in here? But no, we're definitely going to have to do something, because that's been an epic that you've been slowly chipping away at. So that's going to be on Foul Corrupted some way or another. But other than Persona 5,
I checked out the spring sale because Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation all have different spring sales going on. So it was either between Disco Elysium and a very story-heavy RPG, in between two other story-heavy RPGs I'm planning on playing, Persona 5, and the entire Mass Effect trilogy getting remastered next month. So I'm like, this would probably be a terrible time to start this up.
It's just going to sit on your hard drive for 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. So instead, I spent that same amount of money on Wreckfest.
Hey!
And that is a good game.
That's not an RPG, but that's a fun freaking video game.
It is. Do you like crashing cars? Do you like turning off the soundtrack and booting up a Spotify pop punk playlist instead of whatever the stuff they have on there? I'm sorry to go out of the gate swinging against the Wreckfest soundtrack, but man, that soundtrack's a bummer.
I have a theory that it's intentionally so bad just so you can go put your own music to it. Because, I can tell you, listening to that comparing to listening to, Run the Jewels or something, so much better listening to Run the Jewels or hitting cars together than it is listening to their soundtrack.
This is where I can give my in-detailed review of the Spotify integration into the PS5 interface, and it's good.
That's good.
Next question.
I never use that because I always generally want to listen to the soundtrack the game has. Mm-hmm. And there's very few video games that I play that I don't want to hear anything from the sound. But that's one of them, yeah. Let's put the Spotify playlist on and call it a day.
Yeah, but Wreckfest is a lot of fun. It brings back the PS2 flat-out games, square in my mind. It brings me to a time and place of renting that style of game from Blockbuster and just hammering it out over a weekend.
It reminds me of the early Burnout.
Yeah.
I liked, speaking of portable versions, the PSP Burnout game was legitimately pretty good. I had that thing, and I remember playing a lot of that, the PSP Burnout. Burnout's a series that is still good today, but is good in a different way. I kind of miss old school Burnout, I guess Burnout 3 would have been the last.
Burnout Revenge was the last of that style.
Yeah. But man, yeah, Wreckfest is a solid video game. I will put my points behind that you two should go out and buy Wreckfest.
It's the perfect game to play while I'm hammering out other long games that have to occupy 100% of my brain capacity.
That leads right into my suggestion.
Really?
Yeah, that's a perfect segue.
Okay.
I don't appreciate you stepping on my job as the segue master. All right? Nah, but I too hit up some sales. Are you aware of the video game Project Warlock?
I am not aware of Project Warlock.
Okay, so Project Warlock is a retro-style first-person shooter. Think sprite-based, kind of like Doom. Movement's a little bit more like Quake. So it's one of those. I call them the boomer shooters.
Makes sense.
I've been playing a lot of those recently. I played some Doom 64. It made me realize I like those games a lot. I've been fiddling with a bunch of them. But Project Warlock is special. I got it on Switch, which is both the exact way I want to play that game and the worst controller to play that game on. Because the game has that kind of old school shooter feel, but the big thing is it's a lot more in depth than those games were. So if you play like Doom and stuff like that today, you remember that like progression was basically weapon pickups, you know?
Yeah.
That's how you progressed as a character. In Project Warlock, you have not only do you have points to put into progression and skill traits that you can unlock, but all your weapons, and there's a ton of weapons. There's 5 campaigns, and I'm about done with the 3rd campaign. All those weapons have a option where you can pick 1 or 2 upgrade paths for them.
Okay.
So they have...
Kind of like Doom 2016, you kind of had the option with those.
Yes. But, so we'll use the double barrel shotgun. Everybody's familiar with the super shotgun in Doom. You get the super shotgun equivalent in Project Warlock, and you can pick between either making it a 4-barrel shotgun or a flat cannon.
That brings me back to Bulletstorm.
Yes.
Any game that makes you think of Bulletstorm is probably a good game.
Well, and also, all those weapons have different upgrades, so you pick and choose. Like, I changed my SMG, which was kind of like just a standard shooting SMG. Mm-hmm. You could pick between a dual-wield option or a nail gun, which all the shots ricochet. So in these close quarters of this old-school kind of shooter, you can shoot that railgun, and they're bouncing around, taking people out, and they can hit you, too. So
okay, that was my next question.
Yeah, they can hit you. I learned that the hard way. But this thing is really, really good. Apparently, it was developed... The guy who developed this game was 19 when he did it.
Really? Wow.
It's off the Unity engine, which is an engine that usually when I see Unity, I'm like, eh. But this engine, he did a really great job. The sprites look great.
I pulled up some screenshots here, and it kind of evokes like a mixture between like SNES and comic book style. Like, it looks really cool just by the screenshots I pulled up here.
The 3 campaigns that I've played so far, the first one's like a medieval campaign. Mm-hmm. The second campaign is The Thing from the movie The Thing. It's in an Arctic base.
Arctic base, yeah.
All the enemies look like something that would be out of that movie. Those guys with biohazard suits with flamethrowers. The 3rd campaign, the one I'm almost done with, is just Egypt. Just straight up Egypt.
Okay.
The story is just a glorified excuse so you can go places in time. Also, you have magic abilities you can unlock. So you also have like different magic spells you can unlock. I don't use those a lot because the guns are really, really fun. Mm-hmm. But Project Warlock, and why I was talking about how it's great for like a in-between game on Switch, the levels are very short. And it tells you before you go into like a campaign how many levels are in it. So it's a great like, just one more level kind of game. Like I would play it at night before bed and be like, it's just a 10-minute level. Might as well play at least one more, and then look up and it's like 2 hours later and I've knocked out a whole campaign. But this thing's really, really good. I got it for $8.95 on Switch on sale. But I can tell you right now, it's worth a lot more than that. If you find it for $20, get it. It's on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. I think it's on everything right now.
Unity is a versatile engine. You can put that anywhere.
And usually that engine does not look that great, but boy, he does some cool stuff with it. The first campaign, I think, is not the best foot forward because it's like the medieval campaign, and some of the enemies are kind of not as interesting. They're like little crab guys and stuff. But especially when you get to that second campaign and it's like this Arctic base and you have levels where being outside causes you to take damage because it's so cold. There's just really, really cool stuff there. And the boss for the second level I think is better than the first. Mm-hmm. But Project Warlock, I got it this week and I've been just tearing through it. It's a great right before bed game. Definitely suggest Project Warlock. So that's 2 good games to play when maybe you are stressed out because your podcast made you play a video game that causes you to just jump at every single sound in your house and maybe is responsible for some bad nightmares that you had. So
that's a segue.
Yeah, that's a segue. So now you know what time it is, Michael. It's time to delve deep into RE7. Michael, I'm sorry I did this to us.
Why didn't they send in Leon Kennedy?
Leon Kennedy would have handled it. No, you know what? I'm gonna defend Ethan. Ethan handles this shit like a man.
I would have given up two minutes in.
Ethan is I play that. I have to pump myself up to play Resident Evil 7. I just got a brand new TV, and the blacks on that TV are super good. So, like, when I enter a dark room, I used to be able to cheat on scary games on my old TV because I could still kind of see what was in there. I can't see shit anymore.
Oh, no.
And the lighting in this game is amazing. I'm playing it on the Xbox One. You're playing it on the PlayStation 5. Dude, this game looks gorgeous. It's a gorgeous freaking video game.
This is the most beautiful, terrifying imagery I've ever seen.
It sticks with you.
Yes.
This game, man.
The game started me with the HDR settings. Like, we're going to have you get this environment just right. We're going to make the whites really nice. We're going to make the blacks really nice. Okay, look at this pretty imagery of this house. All right, now we're going to use it to terrify you.
Yes, it tricks you because you use the settings when it's a nice sunny outdoor day. And you're like, man, this looks really nice. And then it's like, congratulations, motherfucker. Welcome to our world. Like, and I apologize. There's going to be a lot of cursing on this episode. This game, we talked about this last on the Republic Commando show. I love the Resident Evil franchise.
I've played a bit of the Resident Evil franchise, but there's never been a game I played that I disliked. In other words, I didn't play 6.
Yeah, you didn't play 6. I suffered through 6. Not all the way. I only beat the Leon campaign because Leon's the man. But I've played 1 through 6 on the main story campaign, main games. I said last time the reason why I didn't jump into 7 is I was like, this got to be a weird offshoot game. It's not going to be where the series is going. And boy, was I wrong. This is
8 looks real good.
8 looks real
8
good.
looks real good.
They just released a new trailer last week, Friday, I think, that shows a lot of gameplay footage and more about the story on 8. And I know a little bit now because we're halfway through 7. So, man, 8 looks good. But I don't know if I have the balls to go right into 8.
What's getting me through this is that Ethan comes out the other side. Like, Ethan's in it. So, okay, he's going to be a little bit messed up. He's already messed up.
I don't know how
I'm already messed up. But...
Dude, like, I would say this. I'm a Leon fanboy. But Ethan is the man. The fact that Ethan can get through this whole experience and still have any sense of sanity would... Okay, let's jump into this.
Let's go in.
Let's go in.
Right away, everything doesn't seem so bad for the first 5 seconds of this game, and then it immediately just goes bad.
Weird thing that has kind of been really off-putting. Mia is a dead ringer for a former boss of mine. Like a lady who used to be my boss, considered her a friend and such. She is a dead ringer. The voice is similar. The face is similar. Everything is similar. And that made it very, very uncomfortable.
Oh, I bet.
Like, to the point that I had to be kind of like, I had to sit back and be like, wait a second. But, so that made it even more uncomfortable. But, you know, the cold open with the video of Mia sending, the whole, hey, Ethan, I'm coming home, all that stuff.
I got a babysitting gig. Do people travel to babysit?
I took it as she was babysitting like a project or something, not a person.
Oh, okay.
That's how I took it.
Like watch this house, be the caretaker of the.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke, but I forgot the name of the hotel from The Shining.
Yeah, I don't remember the name.
Overlook. That's it.
Overlook. Yeah. I'm just going this hotel named the Overlook, and I'm gonna just hang out here for 6 months. No, like I took it as like a job, but then obviously we realized at the end of the video that things are not going well. But it does the...
Props to Ethan for watching the whole video.
Yeah, you know what? If freaking Isaac from Dead Space would have just watched the whole video the first time in his game, we wouldn't have had to go through any of that shit too either. Ethan, he's watched the whole video. He knows what's going on. Ethan is an intelligent horror game protagonist. I have a whole theory that we're going to follow with this. I like Ethan so far. Even though he doesn't talk much, I like what I've seen so far. But the game starts off with this beautiful, like, overhead shot of you driving. It's been, 3 years since Mia's went missing?
2 years, because
2
you get the articles that are like there's 20 people missing in a 2-year span.
Yeah, and Ethan basically randomly gets an email from Mia saying, Ethan, please come pick me up, and an address.
The beginning of this game reminds me a whole lot of the movie. Have you ever seen, I may have brought this up on the show before, The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe?
Yes.
Like
yeah.
the very, like, swampy setting, the overhead shot of the car in the distance with, like, nothing around it. It just, that movie flashed in my mind.
It's isolating without being in, like... Okay, like, Resident Evil 4 is isolating because you're in, like, these villages deep in Europe. Like, this is a part of the United States. It's, you know... But it's isolated in a way that is instantly off-putting. You know, if you've ever gone camping in a very, like, dense part of the country where there's no one around for very, very, you know, far away, it's just, there's a sense of eeriness just by being that isolated. And the fact that it does that overhead shot at the beginning to show you, like, there ain't nothing around. There's no houses. There's no towns. You are in the middle of freaking nowhere. It does a really good job of really showing how isolated this location is. And I like the fact that Ethan's, like, on his cell phone talking. And to me, it kind of... This might be me, like, projecting, but... Like, his friend says, like, well, Ethan, it's been 2 years. You know, like, it's almost like Mia didn't run. Like, they wasn't like, oh, Mia's gone missing. We got to hunt her down and find her after all this time. It's almost like people just assume Mia left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's not like Ethan, man. Like, I can't believe we finally found her after all this time. It was like, no, Mia just hasn't, you know, Mia left is kind of how the vibe I pick up that Ethan took it as. Because Ethan even acts a little bit like, yeah, I know, but she's here and she asked me to come pick her up. Like, it feels a little bit like Ethan hasn't maybe thought that she's been kidnapped or anything. Like, he thought she maybe just left.
And right away, that's when we know something is up, because he has the letter saying that, hey, come get me. But in the second part of the video that doesn't get sent out is, she's like, stay away. Do not come and get me.
Yeah, it's her in, like, in the dungeon, basically, or the basement, being like, Ethan, I'm sorry, I messed up, don't come here. Whatever you do, don't come here. So, and I like that they show that was cut. Like, Ethan didn't have access to that video. Mm-hmm. Ethan would have called the cops or something if he would have seen that part. But instead, Ethan only had the part that made it seem like he could, you know, just go pick her up and it'll be okay. One of the things I talked about, first thing I did is turn off the motion sway.
I kept it.
Really?
It didn't bother me too much. I don't get motion sickness very easily, but because the game gives you a warning heads up, like, hey, you can turn off the motion sway at any time, even before you start the game. It's like, hey, just so you know, we got the setting here. Don't worry about it.
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you know, it's not for everybody. I feel like I'm maybe missing out a little bit, but I did not want to get sick. And this game is so stressful as it is. Nausea would, on top of the stress of playing the game, I was afraid would just be too much. But I don't feel like I'm losing out on much.
Oh, no.
But, like, even from the get-go, you know, you see the house behind the gate. And I made the joke that when I tried out the game just to make sure everything walked before we started doing it for the show, right away it does the Resident Evil of, like, you're going to need to find something to open this gate.
Yeah, the gate's closed, so it's like, oh.
And, you know, walking through the woods, I've done a lot of camping and stuff. And, dude, it's such a great tone settle because it's bright, it's sunny, there's animals outside. But the farther along you move down that path is the dread just slowly builds, because we know it's a horror game. Mm-hmm. But also they do a great job of just like, hey man, you really are in the middle of freaking nowhere. And then there is the classic horror thing of rounding a curve and a guy walks by and then he disappears, you don't see him. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of that kind of stuff. But long story short, once we walk our way into the house, instantly this game's visual design is just beautiful. And then the way you interact with the game is just well thought out, like to little things like opening the door to go into the house. Like when you open a door and you hit A, that door doesn't come open but maybe like 2 inches. and the physical having to push yourself forward to open the door just makes you cringe as you play this game, especially as you progress on. Because even if you're like 99.9% sure nothing's behind that door, you physically just know you have to go through it.
That chance that something could be on the other side is like, that's this game's MO. You never know what it's going to throw at you. This game is scientifically designed to mess with you.
Yeah.
It will make you think you're safe, and the minute you let your guard down, the game is like, oh, we know. It'll strike you.
You know, this whole first part is so well thought out because you enter the house, you enter the old house, so it's like isolated away from the main house. Mm-hmm. And instantly it reminds me of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies of, the disgusting stuff in the pots, all the bugs.
Oh, that freaks me out.
You open the fridge and those just
very stark design from like the pretty serene outdoor environment in the sunset, and then you go in and then everything is just like disgusting and horrifying.
You have stepped into a nightmare.
You have, yes.
And they do a great job of making you feel like instantly
it's not daytime for the rest of this game.
No,
yes.
Even
the sun is gone. You're in the darkness with these.
They rob you instantly because the moment you step in there, all the windows are blocked off. Mm-hmm. And the light is gone. Welcome to hell. It's like, and just it's both very Resident Evil and very very different in that you still have the interactions. Like if you played the remakes, you're going to notice a lot of the stuff from the remakes are similar to this. The map design is very similar. Mm-hmm. The way you kind of open things up to find items and stuff, then you examine boxes to open things. All that stuff is very, very similar. But as you walk your way through the house and you find the opening tape, which is going to be kind of
it's a tone setter for the rest of this game.
It's a tone setter, but it's also going to be a reoccurring thing of finding and watching VHS tapes.
Yeah. That kind of, like, the tapes we've done so far, they either, in this part of the game, they either take you through a place you've already been, so you kind of know the layout, or it teases a place that you will go eventually, and when you go there, you know the layout because you saw the tape.
It's so smart.
This game, I'm going to say this now. Of all the games we played, this is probably the best designed.
Oh, oh yeah.
Like, you can tell, like, this game was made by a masterclass of designers.
Dude, these guys, like, and damn them. Damn them. Because they're so damn good at it.
You're never confused about what you need to do. You always know your goal, and so you always know what you're looking for. And the fact that, like, they can, like, have these intricate puzzles, but you're never like confused about what you need to do is so great.
Dude,
I've been talking about how this game is like terrifying and that it's just messes with you, and how like joking about how like it's not fun to play, but it's a really great game. It's very intricately designed. You can tell these designers went back to the first Resident Evil and was like, we can modernize that, but not lose what made that first game really terrifying.
Remember in the first Resident Evil how the door animations for loading?
Yeah.
That is the exact same thing as what this game is making you do when you open up a door. Mm-hmm. It's the exact same thing. If you never played the first Resident Evil, and I want to say 2's the same way, on the PlayStation.
It's the hide a loading screen.
Yeah, it's the hide a loading screen, but it shows a first person's perspective of the door, and the door swings open, and you go into the black, and then you're in the next room. Every time you open a door in this game, it makes you have the exact same feeling of, what is behind this door? Do I really want to do this? And the amount of times that I feel as a player of having to brace myself to go through the door, because I've been playing this at night with my headphones on in a very dark room by myself, and the feeling of like gritting your teeth and being like, here we go, and you shove through that door. It's so well thought out. But like you talked about, like, you never are confused about what you have to do. The problem is, do you have the guts to do it?
Yeah, I sent a GIF to us in the Discord of Kylo Ren in Episode 7 going, I know what I need to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. because you know immediately, like, oh, I got this key. Oh, it's all the way back here. Oh, I gotta go to the dissection room again.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't like the dissection room.
There are so few enemies in this game. Like, there's not a lot of enemies in this game.
You have persistent enemies.
And they're relentless, and you know them, and you get to learn about them. This whole first section, as you are investigating the old house, there's nothing there. Like, there's no enemies. Like, I know this is like, this entire show is spoilers, so,
yeah.
You know. But, like, nothing's actually there.
The game, actually, when it starts out, when you're in the old house, it feels more like a first-person adventure game than it does survival horror. Because you're like, it's a well-disguised tutorial because it shows you, okay, you're going to be finding things to open doors to get to new locations, is basically the gameplay loop of this game. And the way it does that for you before it introduces you to Mia is so good. It's probably the best, might be, in recent years, the best, like, hidden tutorial I've ever seen. Because it's not in your face. There's no, like, press this button to jump, and like it's not out of place. It all is contextual with the world design, and it is so much better for it.
Nothing feels weird either. There's never like a crouch under this bar just to teach you how to crouch thing. When you have to crouch, there's a reason. When you're having to find a way to open something, it makes sense in the game while you're doing it. This whole investigation of the old house, like you said, is a tutorial, but it doesn't feel like it. Instantly, you're put in the shoes of Ethan, and you're just having to solve problems. And the game does such a wonderful job of just showing you very quickly, this is how Ethan does his things. This is how you need to do things. They're very minimalistic with the amount of like on-screen prompts that they show you. Dude, and like as a Resident Evil fan, instantly I knew how to do inventory management. I knew when I got to my first save room, I'm like, okay, this is how a save room works. I know I got a tape recorder. I have an inventory box that I need to drop things into.
Thank God there's no ink ribbons. Thank God, because I keep running back to save rooms every time I do any little thing.
If you play the RE2 and the RE3 remake, there's a lot of these things are very, very similar in how they continue, because it works. This system works great, so why change it? And the no ink ribbon thing is perfect because in those games, and I believe probably in this one it's going to be the same, your ranking is just affected by how many times you save.
Oh, I'm definitely shot down.
Oh, dude,
I probably saved like 50 times already.
I'm saving left and right. This whole old house stuff, you are starting to like learn about the family that's here, but it's all through context clues of photos and things like that.
It's all environmental storytelling, and that's Resident Evil's MO. Like, Resident Evil's all environmental storytelling. Like, there's very little story in the first Resident Evil, which is kind of the blueprint for this game. And so, like, you're picking up, like, before you get to Mia, for example, before you see any, like, enemies in this game, you get a clipboard. And the clipboard has names by it, and it has turned beside, like, some names. Turned, deceased, turned, deceased. And then you get to one, it might be Mia, but there's an L beside it. And instantly, it's like, what does L mean in this context? Turned, we know from Resident Evil, like, oh, zombies. Crap.
Yeah, like, I literally wrote down, like, turned, zombie, okay.
Yep.
So, like, as a Resident Evil fan, I'm like, T-Virus. Okay,
Yep.
So how did the T-Virus get here? Why is this, what's going on? What version of the T-Virus is it? Like, I'm sitting out trying to be like, you know, because there was, like, 15 different versions. But, like, what I like about it also is, none of these people are, like, Umbrella employees.
Yeah, there's no umbrella symbol yet.
Yes, there's no umbrella symbol yet. So, like, they're not talking about it how, like, in RE2 and 3 and 1, these people, like, a lot of times you're in, like, RE1 even, like, these are scientists, and they know a little bit, so their notes hint at stuff more. These are just regular people figuring out stuff and being corrupted by whatever's happening here. And then we get the first videotape, which teaches us that videotapes are going to explain areas coming up. And that first videotape is something that is even referenced by some environmental storytelling. When you're out by the car outside, there's a note that's like basically like explore haunted houses. And there's some writing on it and stuff that gives you it says like go away or something. But obviously this is a horror game, so we walk right into it. but it's you're in the shoes of a cameraman for one of those like ghost hunter shows.
Like, this house is abandoned. We're gonna find out why.
Yeah, but like what I like about it is like these are guys who will clearly do this all the time. They don't believe in ghosts. There's no such thing as ghosts. So like they're like, yeah, this is a creepy place. Let's walk around it, see if we can find some good shots. It's like a production assistant.
And right away, because you play as Ethan, you know where the good shots are. You're gonna be like, all right, we need to check the fridge. We need to check the pot. Going with that knowledge in, you're like, I know what good shots to get here as the cameraman.
Also, cool thing. Did you turn around at the beginning?
Turn around at the beginning.
You can find a lockpick behind you when you turn around, when the scene starts.
Mm-hmm.
So you can unlock the door for Ethan that you walk into the door with at the beginning.
What? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So you can change stuff in the VHS tapes for Ethan.
This game's awesome, man.
But dude,
wow.
But like what I love about that scene in particular, because basically it's just setting the tone for like what's the old house is, and it does such a great job of scaring you because it's showing you what's in there. It's showing you something's wrong. It's showing you a place that you're going to have to go as Ethan, and that bad things are going to happen. But it does it in a way that, like, as the inevitable separation of the three people inside the house,
Hear screams in the distance and go, uh-oh, that's probably bad.
but like the best thing is, you follow the cameraman and he shows you how to get inside the fireplace.
Yeah, you pull the fireplace lever and then that door opens, and then when you come back as Ethan, you have to, instantly you have to do that puzzle the same way.
To the fireplace. It's so well designed, man. Like, I sat there and talk about making the player feel something. Okay, I've been playing video games for a really long time. I usually know the tricks.
Mm-hmm.
This does such a great job of playing on your emotions because it shows as the cameraman how to get into the fireplace. And instantly, when that video is done, I as Ethan know I need to get into the fireplace. I know now how to do it. It's taught me how to do it. And it also has taught you something's down there. So as you're doing it, you have the extra sense of dread of knowing something bad happened to the guy I just watched do this.
I'm going to go down this way too.
Exactly, but you're unarmed.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a gun for this whole sequence.
No, you do not.
And when you finally go down in there, nothing happens where the cameraman was grabbed.
You don't see any evidence of it.
No,
like, those bodies are gone. I was expecting to see a body there or, like, someone hanging on, like, a fishhook or something like that. But, no, nothing.
Which is even scarier.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
someone was here to clean that up.
Someone was here to clean it up. Like, it's not... this isn't the only thing that's horrible happened in this house. As you explore that whole basement area is when you finally find Mia. And Mia is locked in the jail cell that she was locked in before, and instantly she has the whole conversation. She's obviously scared and freaked out, and she's happy to see Ethan, but also angry that Ethan came.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how she refers to Jack. We will learn who it is, but as Daddy. I don't like the creepy daddy stuff in this game. I don't like it at all. I wrote a big thing that says the daddy, question mark, not liking that at all.
I'm just going to leave you here. I'm going to go.
But what I like also is Ethan's very, like, calm about this. And, like, Mia, you need to tell me what's going on. She's like, we have to go. Yeah, but you need to tell me what's... It's like, Ethan, just go. Obviously, this is not what you thought it was. But, this is one of the scariest parts of this game. Because throughout this whole next section in the old house, it's Mia losing Mia in the house... and Mia's flipping back and forth between, like, a possessed version of Mia
mm-hmm.
and Mia as your wife. And, like, the scene in which you lose Mia and then you go to the steps and she crawls up the steps. Because this game does such a great job also with lighting. I imagine he's using his cell phone.
Yeah.
But, like, the way... there's a delay when you enter dark places between the phone coming on.
It's like he's fumbling to get the light on the phone, so
and
there's
it's
like a delay
just
there.
long enough that you stand in the dark for like a couple of seconds before the light comes on. And my God, is that the longest 2 seconds in your life? But the moment at this point, I was okay with this game.
Mm-hmm.
Strong man, big man, not scared. I went to the gym that day. I had a little bit of a pump going on, and I was like, this ain't that bad. The scene in which you hear the noise behind you, and you go down the steps, and you flip your light on, and it's Mia. So you're like instantly trained to be like, oh, Mia. And then she comes crawling up the steps real fast and grabs you, and is obviously not her.
Stabs you with a screwdriver in the hand.
Dude, this whole section with Mia here where she stabs you and you fight her off and the game teaches you how to attack.
Oh, the combat tutorial. You got a hatchet. You're going to use it on your wife.
You grab the hatchet and you smack her in the neck with that. Like, this is the most violent Resident Evil video game I've ever played.
This game has zero chill.
Dude, this might be one of the more gruesome games I've played. Mm-hmm. Because, like, in Doom, you hit guys with chainsaws and they fall. But, like, this feels like you're hitting somebody with an axe. And, like, when you hit her and she goes down, Ethan has, like, that weird, like, well, what the fuck? I had no choice. Like, he, like, starts to talk to himself and then she gets back up. And, my God, man, this whole section is just terrifying, and like her kind of flipping back and forth. So like you're about to attack her and then she changes back to Mia and kind of like cons you and then jumps you again. Dude,
this bit reminded me very much of like a really old arcade game and a TurboGrafx 16 game. Have you ever heard of Splatterhouse?
Yes.
There's a bit in Splatterhouse that is similar to this, and right away I was like, oh man, any game that evokes Splatterhouse is probably very terrifying and crazy like this is. So,
the thing about Splatterhouse was also, it was an extremely violent game for the time. Like, you were hitting guys with axes and they're cutting them in half and they're still like attacking you.
Yep.
Like, it was like a B-movie kind of horror game.
Yeah.
But, like,
he's literally wearing a Jason mask equivalent.
Yeah, it's like a love letter.
It knows
to
what
horror.
it is. So,
but dude, when you get out of this sequence, you're eventually jumped by Jack after Mia cuts your fucking hand off. You're jumped by Jack, and there was a kind of in and out sequence in which you're obviously, because you got your hand cut off.
with a freaking chainsaw.
With a chainsaw!
And because you have to, like, run around the attic, like, this is, like, the first instance you use the gun. So you have to, like, try to peg her down and everything, and she just cuts your hand off. Like,
cuts your hand? Yeah, it gives you the gun to teach you how to use a gun.
I've got my hand cut off in games before, but having it done in first person in this context is absolutely one of the most tense and terrifying things I've experienced in a game.
Like, also, like, Ethan handles, like, he walks around with his hand missing, with one hand with the gun, and then he's got a bloody stump on the other side. This is why, this is my entire point of this whole show, Ethan is the baddest freaking Resident Evil protagonist in history. Leon didn't do that. Chris didn't do that. Claire didn't do that. Jill didn't do that. Ethan got his hand cut off, grabbed a pistol, and kept soldiering on. This man has been through stuff, and we aren't even out of the tutorial yet. When you finally get knocked out by Jack, and it's like, hey, welcome to Resident Evil 7.
Welcome to the family.
Like that's the end of the tutorial. It's like you hit your wife with an axe, you had your hand cut off, and it's like, hey, welcome to the game now. You wake up and your hand's been reattached. And
given a very nice smartwatch.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Which has the classic Resident Evil heart monitor on it with the just the heartbeat in green and everything. And instantly you're like, oh, I know what this is.
Yeah, instantly you're like green, yellow, orange, red. You know, I know how the health is going to go. And you're tied to a chair in front of, and this is when they introduce the family. Because at this horrifying table, and this is why the Texas Chainsaw Massacre stuff, there's a scene like this in the second Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where people are like tied up and the characters are all around the table, and you see them like at this like horrible like dinner table thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this also kind of shows you that like people's limbs grow back and such, because there's a moment in which Lucas gets his hand chopped off by Jack as if it was no big deal.
Yeah.
Like he's just annoying Jack because he's throwing food at Ethan, and he just hacks his hand off and throws it down, and Lucas is like, "Come on, Dad, jeez," and goes away. But this is when we're introduced to Lucas, Jack, Margaret, and this catatonic old lady who's going to pop up throughout this whole part and just scare me every single time. And it's a really cool sequence because not only are you introduced to all these what will be your kind of main antagonists,
Mm-hmm.
but once they separate out from the dinner table and you make your escape, it instantly shows you kind of how this is going to work, where you're going to deal with each one of them in their own areas.
Yeah.
And this is where the tech that they used on like Mr. X and Nemesis and such in the remakes is being used a lot here, where they're going to be hunting you throughout the level, and they're a persistent enemy that you can't just fight and take down. But this whole section here is really, really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff here. You get a phone call from Zoe,
Mm-hmm.
who introduces herself as your kind of the other sane person here, I guess is the best way of putting it.
The goal in these games is always, I gotta meet this person because together we can figure out what's going on and get out.
RE2 is Claire, Jill and Chris in RE1, 3, Jill with a bunch of different people. And
Got the good hair.
guy with the good hair, yeah. Ramirez?
Something like
Marco? I don't know. Just keep throwing names out.
I didn't play 3.
It's good. The remake especially is good. 3 regular, not so much, but 3 remake really good. The whole thing here with you're also introduced to Jack, where you have to dodge Jack. You have to learn how to navigate the environments. Did you get Jack to like bust the table and stuff?
I don't know about getting to bust the table. I got him to bust the wall.
Yeah, that's a scary freaking scare too. I don't think there was any way around that.
Because it makes you go back through that hallway for something, and then when you have to go back again, and he just busts through that wall.
That's where you get the key to the hatch.
Yes.
Is through that hallway. And if you bait him into the kitchen, he will, and you use the table to try to like do the whole classic like I'm on this side of the table and now I'm on this side thing. He will just smash the table.
That's pretty great.
Which is pretty cool because I instantly tried to use that trick and he just smashes the table in front of you. So it's like, haha, this isn't gonna work. It also
that's what I mean. Like when I say the game is scientifically designed to mess with you, it knows what tricks you're going to try to do, and it one-ups you every single time.
It knows
there's a
that
bit
you're going to do that.
There's a bit when doing with Margaret, I think her name is. I'm bad with these names, but
Margaret is the mom.
Yeah, in that house where when you go through the door and she's like, "Get away!" and then knocks you back, and so you have to go through the other door. Well, I died shortly after that because I was low in health and those bees just kept chasing me. So I was like, I'll just go through this door instead. And then she was there again, and then that door was blocked off, so I had to go around a different way. So I was like, I thought I was safe, and this game was like, oh, you think you're just gonna go around this way? No, you're not. We're gonna get you again. So it got me with the same jump scare twice because I thought I circumvented it.
Yeah, because
that's
the game's like, of course you would go to the other door, dude.
It's like they had people playtest this game and being like, okay, we can put a scare here, we can put a scare here. Someone thinks they're safe. Oh, they died. We can move the scare here, wherever they're going to be. You're not safe. The game is playing you at every second that you're playing it. It's
when you get when you are introduced. There's a cop that shows up, and there's a great scene.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Wrong house, dude. When Ethan and the cop are having the conversation through the doors there, and because the cop is there because this house has been in the area of like 20 missing people.
Mm-hmm.
Like people have been going missing throughout this area for the past 2 years, and there's a great scene. It's a long conversation. I actually appreciate how much time they give it, where Ethan and the cop are talking, and Ethan's like begging for this, like, just you got to help me. Like, we got to get out of here. There's a crazy family here, and the cop's trying to figure out what he's walking into.
He gives you a knife.
Yeah, really nice pocket knife, actually.
Yeah, because Ethan's like, give me a gun, and he hands him a knife, and he's like, I don't trust you.
Well, but I like also is the cop's not an idiot. Like, Ethan is terrified, and he's like, you can't make me go back in there unarmed. This man's going to kill me. And the cop's obviously not going to give his gun to Ethan, but the fact that the cop gives you something, like, feels like he kind of sort of believes you. Like,
yeah.
Even if he doesn't exactly believe what's going on, he believes you enough that he's like, hey, I got to give this guy something. And this is a whole section here where you're just exploring this kind of kitchen area that's one of the wings of the main house, and then you go down into the garage, and this is where you actually meet up with the cop, and then he's instantly killed by Jack. In a hell of a way. Death by shovel is not the way you want to go.
Just as he's talking to you, instantly the blade of the shovel just comes out of like where his eye is, and just got me.
It's gnarly. This whole game is gnarly, dude. But this is also how you get your first gun, which is like the G10. It's like a Glock. And so begins, like, this whole section is about getting you accustomed to walking around Jack, and also about getting you accustomed to now how save rooms work, item management works, and unlocking parts of the house, which is classic Resident Evil. Is built in a single location. It's the way the police station was. You're in a location and you're just trying to get to different rooms, and you need different items to do so.
Good map tells you exactly which doors you can go into, which doors are still locked off, which key you need for which doors.
This map is the same map from the remakes. The only things that the remakes did that I wish this one does, the remakes color codes the rooms
to tell you if you cleared them 100%
exactly.
or not. The Gamecube version did the same thing,
which is really, really helpful when looking for like one or two last little bits of equipment.
But they circumvent that in a way with the pills that you take.
Yeah,
also
the
to like
psychotropics or something. It's basically like a way that it lets you see items in the ward. It's a good fix. I just wish that the color coding was there, especially when I'm looking for like ammunition. Because this game is kind of...
Well, I wonder if they can't do... I'm curious. I haven't actually tested it myself, but I wonder if the game will know if you're low on stuff and like restock items or something. Because it feels... You never feel like you're A, too limited, or B, overpowered. Like you always feel like you have just enough to scrape by. I wonder if there's some... This game being as well designed as it is, I wonder if they're doing some trickery there in a way that you can't exactly clear it out. I'm wondering if they're like, now there's a packet of ammunition hidden behind this table leg that may have not been there before, but you wouldn't have noticed.
I'll do some research on that, because I would see that as a possibility. Because if they didn't, they just nailed down the amount of equipment they give you. Because you're never walking around feeling confident. You've always got a minimum amount of ammunition.
It's the classic thing with a game, when you do have enough, it's like, oh no, something bad's about to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I have 10 shotgun shells, and then it hits you, I have 10 shotgun shells.
It's like, oh god.
I don't want these.
When it opens up into the main house, there is... Oh, by the way, there was a cool thing in that garage with Jack where you have a car fight, basically.
Like a mini boss fight type thing.
But you hit him with a freaking car. And, I like that it instantly establishes Jack is, he's not gonna go down, dude.
He, you point the gun at him, and he's like, watch this, and takes your gun and shoots himself in the head. And then when he comes back in the main house, he has, his head, still in the process of reforming and everything. That's such a great power move by Jack. I'm going to take your gun and shoot myself with it.
Boy, it ain't going to be the way you think this is going to be. Dude, when you enter the main hall, when you actually get to have access to the bulk of the house, they stick that old woman in so many freaking places.
Nope, I don't like it.
Dude, she is always in the most... there's a portion in which you go down to the dissection rooms, and she's just sitting in the generator room. like
Yeah.
complete darkness, and this old lady staring at you when you open up the door.
And her eyes are like constantly following you.
Yeah.
Just everywhere you go. Just like,
I hate it so
I haven't
bad.
tried to shoot her because I'm terrified of what will
won't let
happen. It won't let you? Okay.
Ethan, if you point the gun at her, Ethan puts the gun up.
Oh.
He won't shoot her.
Because I thought about it, but at the same time, I was like, there's gonna be something here where if I try to shoot her, it's like an instant death or something.
No,
so
I
I'm like,
tried
I
it
don't.
too.
I was like, I don't want to see what this is. I'm
Yeah, I
just
tried
gonna
it
leave her
too.
alone. It's like bees. Well, in real life, bees that don't. I'm not gonna mess with you. You're not gonna mess with me. In this game, they're gonna mess with you regardless of what
they're
you do.
gonna come at you,
Jeez.
dude. But this whole section is very, very cool because it's a very simple goal: get 3 dog heads so you can get out the front door, and
Instantly laid out to you, like instantly, like, oh, okay, you get 1 piece, it fits right here. So it's like, okay, obviously I need to get the other 2. So then it just becomes a way of like searching the house, getting like the lockpicks, getting the keys you need to access the rooms, and you can see which rooms you haven't already gone in. So you're like, I'm gonna check this door. I'm gonna check this door. You always feel like you have a plan going forward, and you know exactly, even though there are like instances where you're like, here's 3 rooms you can go in. You like lay out a path in your head, and I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna go here, and then just.
It's the best thing because it lets you make a plan just so they can break your plan.
Yes, exactly.
Like, you have a plan. Like, multiple times I'll be sitting in the safe room, because I do a lot of that, and going, well, if I go to this door here, I can get in there, grab what I need, walk my way back upstairs. Like, I try to maximize my run. Like, spend as little amount of time in this house as I can. And it does a great job because a lot of times, like, you'll grab something, and then the rules will change on you. So you have a plan, and then the rules break, and now your plan's out the window. Wing it. There is this. The house is so well done. There's so much environmental storytelling. You learn about Jack throughout the house. You learn about the family. You learn that the family was not always like this. You also now know that Zoe is the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's revealed in the trailer. I think that's actually revealed in here. And so Zoe calls you, and also that phone ring is so freaking full of dread for something that shouldn't be, because you're in these dark rooms in these secluded places, and then randomly you just hear ding, ding. Dude, it gets you, man.
It does.
And like having to physically, sometimes I don't even want to pick up the phone. But this whole section is about exploring the house, and it kind of, is there anything really you want to talk about in exploring the house here, or do you want to try to go talk about like kind of how we have to end up dealing with Jack?
How we end up going with Jack, because dealing with the house is the same way we're going to deal with the entire section. It's the gameplay loop of these games of finding out what you need to do, getting the thing to leave, and go to the next area. So it's very good at that, but explaining it will kind of be touching over the same kind of pieces here. But you do get the shotgun here by replacing the broken one with where the shotgun is, so you can leave the room because it closes on you.
Well, my favorite thing is does that whole thing, like, here's a shotgun, and you go and grab it, and it shuts the thing. You're like, damn.
That's this game's entire MO. Like, oh, you think something's good here, you gotta work for it.
Well, my favorite thing is making you put the shotgun back, because it's such a nasty feeling of like, I have a shotgun now, and now I gotta stick it back up on top of there and leave it. The house, dude, this house feels so much like what the RE1 mansion was supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
I love like being outside and like looking out the windows and seeing Margaret in the yard, and like her being crazy and talking to herself. And this all ends into a fight in which you're going for the last dog head, and you're trapped in the.
It's just hanging on a chain in there too,
and you know it's a trap. Like, you know it's a trap. And it leads with a fight with Jack that ends with a chainsaw fight.
Yeah, he has, but he kind of gets one up you. He has like a scissor chainsaw, like he's the Scissor Man from like the Clock Tower games.
Yes.
I like to think that's an homage to those games, because those games are very big in Japan, with like the Scissor Man especially. So I was like, I can see what they did there.
Well, also, like, when he throws down his, like, shovel or, like, his little, like, garden tool, and he rips open the gate and grabs that thing, it makes you run by him to grab the chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a cool, like, action movie moment in a game that doesn't give you a lot of those.
Like, you're both pulling the chainsaw from the dude at the same time,
Yeah.
and then revving it is like a...
Dude,
Yeah.
reason number 400 why Ethan's a freaking the man. Like, also, you're kicking the bodies that are hanging from chains into Jack, so you can, like, kick him, knock him back, and then charge him with the chainsaw. Like, Ethan...
You hold the, like, lunge down just to get it in his face as the controller is, like, vibrating like crazy.
And those sparks,
so
like, did you get the...
Man, I wish this game... I wish they have updated or will update, or, like, for 8, using... To use the DualSense controller. Because, man, that would have felt so cool if they, like, had, like, just... took advantage of that controller. I know, like, this game being a few years ago, they didn't have that technology in mind, but I'm like, man, if they could just update the chainsaw for this one section, just give me that.
There's an achievement for blocking his strike with your strike,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels so freaking cool to swing the chainsaw in right when he's swinging his sizzle tool thing at you, and there's just a ton of sparks, and you're both like, it feels like such a freaking... And this guy has been haunting every single step. And it's like, this is the moment. Me and you, man. Mano a mano. Let's do this.
It's the bit... It reminds me similar of the movie, like, 30 Days of Night, where, like, the guy's cowering the whole time, and then he's injected... Spoilers for 30 Days of Night. He gets the vampire ability, and it's like, oh, they gotta throw down in, like, the middle of this snowy city. It's like, let's do this type
I
thing.
appreciate the fact that I have not thought about 30 Days of Night in years. That comic, you know, it was a comic, right?
I did not know it was a comic.
Yeah, it was a comic, and he wrote the comic basically as a pitch for a movie. But then, like, there was like a million 30 Days of Night spin-off comics, and yeah, they're all really weird. But I appreciate that's the first time I've thought about 30 Days of Night.
I'm sure that's the first time a lot of people in this who's listening have thought about 30 Days of Night.
And I tell you, like, it's such a cool moment when you finally take Jack down. Dude,
just go crazy on his body. Like, there's not a lot left of Jack.
What's Ethan's line? It's like, "Stay fucking dead," or "Stay dead this time," or something like
that.
But he actually has an action movie line. Ethan doesn't say a lot, but he's a good character.
He makes it count when he has to talk.
Yeah. This is like, you finally got the thing. You can leave the house. Oh, we also encounter some of the mold people.
Oh, Venom. We meet Venom a few times.
There was straight up Venom. Like, they look like Venom.
I every time I'm like, I'm gonna count the number of headshots it takes to bring him down. The answer is 4, by the way. 4 headshots to take him down
with the G10. Now, if you get the upgraded pistol, it's 3.
I do not have the upgraded pistol yet.
Oh, okay.
I spent all my coins on the health upgrade.
No, I'm talking about the repaired pistol.
Oh, the repaired pistol. I haven't found a repair kit yet.
Would you like to know where it's at?
Yes, I would like to know where it's at.
It's under the steps outside.
Under the steps leading up to the
house.
The house?
In the backyard.
Okay.
There's a repair.
I'm gonna take advantage of that before we get to the next bit, because I think I'm going to need it before going to the next
Here's
bit.
the thing you want to do, though. I learned this bummed me out. This is something that, for a game so well designed, it doesn't make sense. The G10 has 10 rounds in it. Mm-hmm. When you unlock and you repair the M1911, it holds 7, but it will not let you get the 10 rounds out of the G10 that you have loaded. So the ammunition carries over to the M1911, but the ammunition in the magazine does not carry over. So I'm out 10 rounds. And in some parts of this game, I really need those 10 rounds.
Yeah.
But it won't unload that magazine and put it for the M1911. So just be aware of that. But yeah, you can use the repair kit on the M1911 that's inside Zoe's trailer to get a better pistol.
I'm going straight for that upgrade kit when we put this game up again.
You finally get outside, speaking of getting outside, and you get out into the backyard, and instantly you're able to breathe a little bit, because it's like...
This kind of becomes your hub area for the rest of this game. Everything we've go to so far branches off from this area. Oh, one thing we skipped over and didn't talk about, the second tape with Mia, where it teases the kind of the boathouse area.
Yeah, you get the tape that shows Mia escaping through into the boathouse and being chased by Margaret.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good laying down the land of how the boathouse works.
It teaches you how to do the shadow puzzles there too.
Yes, teaches you how to do shadow puzzles. It also is another great no weapon. Mia's just got to hide. Having someone chase you throughout the house. It's a really good horror sequence. But it shows you that whole area that you're going to be exploring as Ethan coming up, which is kind of the go-to, I believe, because we're going to talk about that with Lucas in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get that kind of sequence to explore, and also it shows that Mia's been having a really rough time for a long time.
Yeah.
But it's a cool sequence. When we get back outside into what will be our hub section, basically behind us is the old house. To the left is a bunker-looking structure that we're going to know is Lucas's play place thing. And down to the right through the woods is the boathouse. And so it really sets up like, hey, you're in the middle. And in the middle is a trailer, which is Zoe's trailer.
The most well-kept area. Like, the trailer was nicer than anything you'll run into for the rest of this game.
Environmental storytelling-wise, inside there's some conversations between Zoe, and then you're going to find some stuff between Margaret and Zoe, where Zoe is not 100% okay. She's talking about feeling weird, or she is aware that the family is going off the rails, but she's also talks about not feeling right and things being wrong. And it's something more terrifying, the concept that imagine being the one sane person in the family of psychos. Like, you see that table when they're all gathered around the table in front of Ethan at the beginning, and think about, like, Zoe's been dealing with this for 2 years. Like, and we haven't met Zoe yet, but from what we can gather, she's the sane one. But, like, that's just something even terrifying about, like, inside that trailer is, like, Zoe's sanctuary away from the freaking insanity of this family. That's messed up. But
a lot of this game is messed up.
So we go down into the boathouse, and this is where we encounter Margaret. This is going to be kind of like our Margaret section. You know, we've dealt with Jack in the old house. Now we're going to the boathouse and deal with Margaret. We are down there in particular to find... Is this where we know we need an arm and a head?
Not yet. We have to work our way up to the second level to get there. Where in the first level we find the flamethrower pieces so that we can get past the bees to find the key to work our way up to that.
Yeah, the idol thing up there. Because we're going to learn that there's a head and a leg, hand and an arm of a patient zero that we believe will make a serum that could possibly save Mia. Zoe kind of talks about this on the phone to us, that, you know, they're like that, because we can't go just, even if we got Mia's still screwed up. We can't even if we save Mia's still got whatever's inside of her. You know, we can't just like walk out with her.
And I wonder if Zoe has that same thing too, because she...
Yeah, I have a feeling that there's
building
going
up
to
to
be some
like that.
stuff where Zoe... I have a feeling that we might get betrayed by Zoe or something. This is all speculation, I don't know. But because Zoe's not right either, so are we going to make enough serum for everybody? And also...
I don't trust anything until the credits roll. Even then, I'll be like, this is really the end? I'm not sure.
Also, Ethan had his hand put back on and is able to walk. Is Ethan okay?
That's what I was wondering too. Like, how can he use that hand? I'm like, I don't know if these people knew how to put it on ice or like operate to like...
Because it's like stapled. Like, it's not like, if you look at it, it's not like they just kind of stapled his hand back on. So I have a theory that maybe that serum's gonna not be as easy of a process. Very Resident Evil thing to have to do a serum. Like, it's very that's like feels, every once in a while something feels like classic Resident Evil. The sequence in which we go down into that boathouse, it's another really well designed sequence With the bee stuff, I'm not a super fan of fighting those.
No.
I waste a lot of ammunition on them sometimes because I try to like pop them real quick and I miss.
I just have the knife out and just swing like a madman trying to clear them.
We also can get our hands on the grenade launcher.
Yeah.
Which is weird that this family has a grenade launcher. But it's the South, man. People got that kind of stuff. And we get the flamethrower, which also lets you get into cabinets that have all the spiders on them.
Yeah.
So you're going to help you explore some stuff. There's a great sequence in which Margaret comes back into the boathouse after we've done some exploring, and you can use techniques to hide from Margaret that you used as Mia. Like, there's a box in particular that you can use as Mia to hide behind. I use that exact same technique as Ethan. And it just feels really cool about teaching you ahead of time. Like, this is how you navigate this space with Margaret. We do a lot of the shadow puzzles here. There's a great sequence in which you're crawling between walls to get to the other side of the house. And, like, there's just bugs and junk falling on top of Ethan. And Ethan's just kind of like, I can't believe I'm having to do this. This whole old house sequence it's good. It's not my favorite. It ends in a kind of a fight with Margaret.
That part was weird. Yeah, I had to look up. This is the one part of this game I had to look up because I didn't know this section was a boss fight at first. I thought it was like walking around the house. I was trying to get the key or finding something to get in the room where we could try to open the door and like the spiders get through. So I was like, okay, shoot it with flamethrowers. That didn't work. So I looked it up. I was like, oh wait, this is a boss fight? I thought it was just another section. So then I treated it like a boss fight and was like attacking her. And eventually I killed her. And I was like, okay, cool. So
she falls
that one
into
section,
the hole. Like she falls into the, which is weird. It just.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talking about the part where she's like up above you with her lantern.
Oh, I was talking about the part where you actually have to like fight her in like the house and kill her.
I didn't kill her in the house.
Not that. That might be the next. I thought we were there.
No, but
yeah.
Just after you fall in the hole, though.
Yeah.
Okay, you were in the same place. Okay, yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
we're good.
Sorry.
This is before she becomes Spider Lady.
This is. Yeah, I was talking post Spider Lady. We're before that.
Okay, we'll jump to that because that ain't much.
Yeah,
you take her down.
Yeah.
You go do some more exploring. You come back and you realized in a very terrifying moment in which you look down the hole and she's like. Something crawls out of the hole. Yeah, she's
not there anymore.
And I love the thing of just being like, well, shit.
You follow her and you just see like spider arm shadows on the walls, and that was
reasonable 5,487,000 why Ethan is the most baddest RE character. Because Ethan had the guts to go down in that hole. He must really love Mia. Because freaking dude, like I would have gave up multiple times. This leads to a fight in the greenhouse between Spider, Margaret, and Ethan, and this is basically the excuse to use your grenade launcher or your flamethrower. And Barno, she pops away. You chase her. It's a cool boss fight.
I like how whatever weapon you have equipped, that's what you have to use to escape her grasp. Like I had the knife on me, so I had to like stab her arm multiple times, and then the second time I had the shotgun equipped, so I had to like shoot her with the shotgun because she had my like leg dangling like from the ceiling.
If you ever get grabbed by Jack and he picks you up in like a chokehold, kind of like an Undertaker chokehold, you can do the same thing and bring the pistol down and shoot him in the head and he'll drop you.
Gotcha.
So like it does a really good job of like depending on what weapon you have in your hand. Also, it doesn't make Ethan feel paralyzed. Like if a guy's holding you up in the air for like 4 seconds by your neck, of course if you got a pistol, why wouldn't you shoot him in the head? Like it feels so cinematic. And this whole game is cinematic.
You can't like flip through your inventory either, like change the weapon on the fly. It's like, oh, you got to use that shotgun ammo.
You got a shotgun? Bam!
You're gonna use it.
It feels so cool. When you finally take her down, you have access up to the little altar there. And this is my least favorite part of this game. In not that it's a bad part, in that I had to take a lot of deep breaths in dealing with this little kid room. When you're looking for Michael. There's something in this room. It's a child. I don't like it. And you're basically navigating this very dark children's room to get to a dollhouse to find the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's in there. You hear little kid voices. I don't like it. You get to the house and you have to crawl down into the playhouse, and I don't like it, Michael. I don't like it. No, I don't like.
That was my section. I said I don't like this kid's room.
I don't like it at all, Michael.
Just that environment. Like, again, this game messing with you. Like, you're just walking through, and all of a sudden, one of, like, the kid's balls just, like, bounces on the floor in front of you, all, like, very calmly, but instantly you, like, turn and go, what was that? I don't like it.
It makes you cringe so bad. Like, and then when you have to fight your way back out because of mold guys. Yeah. But, dude, that whole section trying to get the arm, that was the time where I thought to myself for a second, I might just have to watch this game on YouTube and talk about it, because I don't know if I got the guts to do it. Because, like, I stood there at one point in the dark, and there was, like, the wind's blowing outside, and I was playing this on a night where it was raining very hard and there was a lot of wind. So I had a hard time telling what was in my headphones and what was outside.
Gotcha.
And my wife decided she was going to use that time to do some cleaning up in the bathroom. So I hear boom, 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 looking around all paranoid and shit. But that moment makes a man out of you. You have to take that deep breath and be like, we're going to power through this.
And then when you leave, what got me was when you leave the kids section, like the shadows on the walls are like arches. They look like the Spider Lady. And so instantly you're like, oh crap, is she back? And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. That's this game messing with you. It's so good. Like, they looked at every single, like, dead space and tried to fill it with something that would, like, make you extra tense.
My note here is just, it says lantern door, because I write in shorthand, just to remind me. Lantern door, and then the next note is, I don't like this. I don't like this.
Yep.
And that's just my feeling. I don't like this. Don't like it at all. We go back out to the trailer, because we're going to go meet with Zoe. And we get to the trailer and find that we get a phone call from our little buddy, Lucas, who has kidnapped Zoe.
Yeah, there's a point where you, like, go underground and you see Mia again. And then she's just, like, taken from you by Lucas.
Lucas is the most enraging of them. Like, I hate freaking Jack and Margaret, but Lucas is, like, he's scummy and
he grates at you.
Yeah, and like he takes pleasure in this. He enjoys it more than Margaret. And like, you notice if you read the notes and stuff around, like Margaret talks about in some of the notes back when she was like more sane, like the feelings of like losing herself. Like you can tell this is like a human. Like she went to the doctor a bunch and they couldn't tell her anything was wrong, and then she basically starts hearing this voice and talking. It makes this little idol thing. Jack was a Marine at one point. Like, you learn that he was a football player, like, in high school, and a Marine. Like, there's all this stuff you learn about this man. Lucas, when you start learning about Lucas was always a psychopath. Like, he was always a psychopath. And so it's like, this has just escalated him to, like, peak serial killer. And, there was a lot of stuff, like, when he pours away Mia, and he's like, what are you going to do about it, bud? You going to be a man and come get her? Ha ha! And then he talks to you on the phone inside Zoe's house, and you have to open up the fridge and find a head. He
treats everything like a game. Like, he feels like the personification of the game designers. Like, I'm going to mess with you. You have to do these puzzles. Whoop.
Well, yeah, this is fun to him. Jack was the brute. Margaret was the psychological one, and Lucas this is a game.
He's the crafty one, quote unquote.
Yeah, he's the crafty one, which makes you wonder what that old lady is. But we'll get into speculation at the end. But he has Zoe, he has Mia, and we have to get some key cards to get into his little bunker. And this begins kind of the retracing of our steps as we go back into the house. We deal with a lot of mold guys back there. I want to talk about one room in particular and the scare that made me nearly die.
In the game or like in real life?
Well, in real life, yes. So we go into Lucas's room at one point.
Yeah.
do a lot of investigating. You realize Lucas was never first place in anything.
Always second place.
Always second.
But in like stuff like engineering and robotics and everything.
Yeah,
too.
he's smart. Like, that's the thing that even makes him more scary, is he's not dumb. Like, he's intelligent. But after you trigger a way into the attic from his room. Also, weird thing is Lucas looks to be in his like 20s, but his room is like he was 10.
Yeah.
Like he still has stuffed animals, and like his trophies are from like elementary school and middle school. Like, and if you read, there's a diary entry about him where he talks about like, Mom took me to the doctor. My head still hurts. Mom says they're gonna find out why. And like he references this one kid. He's talking like a kid would talk about a kid. Like, but when you see him, he's clearly in his 20s. Like, he's not a young boy. And if this is a 2-year incident, he would be in his like 18. It's just like the timing's weird, which adds more to why he's scary. But you go into the attic, which is a really scary place in first place. But there's 2 ways into that attic, and there's like a stairwell, and then there's a way to leave the attic that takes you back. I forget exactly how you do it. And it's actually how you're supposed to leave.
You can make the stairs come. It might be wrong, but you can make the stairs come down by like grabbing a lamp and looking at it and hitting the button.
Yeah. Okay. So you can go up the steps. Maybe I'm wrong exactly on the placement, but there was a portion in which. Oh no! Oh, I know. I am wrong. The attic stuff is one thing. That's where you find the wooden shotgun and you find the wooden axe. Mm-hmm. Did you know how to use those? Have you used those?
I didn't have enough space for the wooden shotgun. I had put the wooden axe in the interdimensional storage cases.
May I give you a little bit of advice, just as a veteran of
the
series? That wooden shotgun would fit very well where that broken shotgun is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't think about repairing that.
There's repair kits. You haven't used a repair kit yet.
Ooh, I could use that on that shotgun.
You can use that repair kit. Maybe that shot. I haven't repaired it yet, but if they work similar to the way the pistol is, repaired weapons are better quality weapons than what you have.
I mean, that would make sense.
So I imagine that this broken shotgun is going to be an upgrade version of the shotgun.
All right.
I would probably go back and swap those out and get yourself that broken shotgun back.
Yes,
also,
absolutely.
That axe is hidden. There's a way to get some steroids with that axe.
Gotcha.
Do you want me just to tell you?
No, I'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, but I this is just like me as like a veteran of the series. You get custom.
Nothing is incidental.
Nothing is incidental, and you get really accustomed to having to make runs back and forth to that inventory box, because sometimes it's worth the extra effort of doing 2 or 3 runs to a room to get everything, especially when it comes to things like that shotgun. That one in particular, I would get yourself that broken shotgun back.
There's I think it's called pre-release hard mode on the GameCube version of Resident Evil 1 Remake, where the item boxes are not a shared inventory. They're separate.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
So you have to remember which item box you put which thing in. I'm like, that's just cruel.
That's just mean. When you come back, the section I'm talking about is you go to Jack and Margaret's bedroom, and there's a sequence in which you trigger the bed to slide over, and there's a stairwell. Okay, you can go into that stairwell, and up there is an item you need. I want to say one of the cards. You can leave that by going through a room that will take you back into the main lobby. But if for some reason I don't know why you would, but I did by mistake. I went back down those stairs to go back into Margaret's bedroom, and there's like a lit area, a dark place on the stairwell, a lit area, and a dark place. And right when you approach that one dark space, when you're about maybe a foot off from that dark space, a black little girl shadow just runs across your screen. And I was sitting there. My wife was sitting beside me on TikTok, which is what her normal thing is, and I ain't gonna lie. Usually she'll go sit in the room. I've been extra cuddly recently, so she might want to stay just to keep a friend nearby. And I was sitting there, and that little it's just a little shadow. Nothing happens. No noise, nothing. Runs across the screen. I don't even go, I just go, and I paused the game, set it down, took my headphones off. I just sat there for a little bit. Nothing happens. None of the scares got to me as bad as just that sudden little garb. And it's such a well done shadow too, because you see the arms and the legs move. Like it's a really and it's out of nowhere. There's no reason to go back down that stairwell. I don't even know why they would do this, because there's no reason to go down that stairwell. I went the wrong way. That's the entire
purpose of this whole game's MO. Is just we're gonna put stuff to freak you out.
And it worked.
It does work.
It took more of my freaking manliness to put that headphones back on and hit play again, because that one shadow. All this is to get those cards to go and get into the bunker.
Well, first you have to get the key that is hidden in the neck of the cup. I knew you were skipping that part because you didn't want to talk about it.
I want to talk about it. Yeah, you have to start that whole process off by sticking your hand down the stump of the cop's head.
Yeah, this next section is going to be Saw, and I already don't like it.
I don't like those movies at all. But that in particular, like, you can look away. And I looked away. I ain't gonna lie. I kept and Ethan's response is so perfect of like, oh shit. Why?
He just looks at it and knows what he has to do and just goes like
Yeah, he says I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm sorry. We finally get those cards, but we also picked up a tape. And now me and you on Discord went back and forth about whether we should do the tape first. And I said we should, because it is kind of like in line with how the game has been using the tapes of showing us the next area.
It's a good tease, both gameplay-wise and environment-wise for the next section.
So we'll back in Zoe's trailer. I think you can watch them at any TV, but I watched it inside Zoe's trailer. And this is where it shows what happened to our cameraman buddy. He was grabbed by Lucas and put into a Saw-like situation when you're in a room.
You gotta put a candle on a birthday cake.
All you gotta do is put that candle on that birthday cake. Now there's a water thing that keeps you from getting the candle over there, and there's a whole mess of puzzles. Now I found out there's an achievement for doing this in 5 minutes. You know how I got that achievement?
You did again because you knew exactly what to do. No,
I got so freaking. I had enough for the night that I did the section all the way up to the clown grabbing you. and then I said, fuck this. And I had saved right before that section. So I said, fuck this. And I called it a night. Went to bed. And so naturally I had to go back and play this because I'm committed to this show. And I went and I was able to knock out all that stuff in like a minute. And then easily finished the section. So I got the achievement for doing it in 5 minutes, because once that clown grabbed your arm, I'm like, screw this.
That's just loser into your arm.
That's the passcode. But, oh my god. And it's such a long sequence. But that whole section, it basically shows the death of the cameraman. But it shows, I guess, what's in that bunker. Michael, I don't want to go in that bunker. Because now it's like a party in there. Because when you exit after the last key, he's got loud music blaring.
He took time to decorate. There's some nice rope lights and everything lighting the way. It looks like those mom and pop craft beer shop or something.
Yeah, he did. And you use the code and you go into the bunker.
All right. Not ready.
I'm not ready to go back into that bunker. Overall thoughts. I know we talked a lot about this, but overall thoughts on this first section.
This game's amazing. It is incredibly well designed, but playing it takes a lot out of me.
I love this game. I don't like playing it.
Yes.
Like,
exactly.
This is probably one of the best designed video games I've played in a very, very long time. I love this game. I hate playing it. And I physically have to sit down on the couch and make myself play it. Mm-hmm. And like I have to make myself do the things in the game, which is perfect because it sets up what Ethan has to do. Like you're in the place of Ethan, sitting there going, "Damn it, I have to freaking do this." But man, this game is so well designed. We talked about that the writer of this game was the same guy who wrote
Spec Ops: The Line.
He's a
Is he okay?
I don't know if he's okay, but he's a talented individual.
Yes.
Like I give him some credit. He's a talented individual. I'm so looking forward to knowing what happens.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I'm looking forward to what happens, but I am not looking forward to getting to that point.
No, and like
oh man.
Right now we've seen nothing really. I think there's one that referenced the umbrella. There was a paper that had an umbrella logo on it.
Oh, I didn't miss that.
Yeah, there was one reference to umbrella. We know that something has happened, that Mia showed up at the house with the girl, because there's letters that talk about Mia arriving with a little girl. There was conversations about something slowly kind of influencing this family. Other than that, there's not a lot of information that we know. So I imagine this is going to be a very heavy storytelling second half.
That's my guess. I have a feeling after Lucas, like, there's going to be a lot of information thrown at you.
They're going to have to explain some stuff because...
And tie it into the overall thing. Because they said this is the start of... They just came out and said this, that Resident Evil 9 is going to close out 7, 8, and 9's trilogy. They said Resident Evil is a series of 3 trilogies, where 1, 2, and 3 is like its own story, 4, 5, and 6 is its own trilogy, and 7, 8, and 9 is its own trilogy.
Okay, 1, 2, and 3 is the Raccoon City story.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea that 4 is linked to 5 and 6, because I love 4 so much.
It makes sense.
It is. When you think about it, 4 is the kickoff to Resident Evil being more of an action game.
To dumb Resident Evil?
Yeah, in a good way. 4 is good dumb.
4 is great dumb.
5 is 6 is...
Punching a boulder dumb. 6 is,
6 is bad.
I never played 6, but I've seen clips from 6 go floating around about the time that game came out.
Okay,
and I was like, what happened?
They just released the trailer for the Netflix show, and we talked about, and the first thing you put on there was Leon's is at the White House? And I'm like, yeah, he's the Secret Service. And you're like, yeah, I mean, I remember he was there to rescue the president's daughter, but like Leon joined the Secret Service after RE2. And in 6, the only interesting thing that happens in 6 is Leon's campaign starts off with him at a college, and the president of the United States is doing this biological attack, is turned into a zombie, and Leon Kennedy has to shoot the president of the United States in the head and escape this college. That section of 6
is he a professor at this point? Like, I want to take Professor Leon Kennedy's class.
Like it's a great scene too, because he's in like a shadow move thing. He's like, "Mr. President, stop, Mr. President," and then it cuts to see the president as a zombie. Leon.
So what you're telling me, 6 is the best game ever made?
No, what I'm telling you is there's 3 campaigns in 6. One starts off as Leon in a college, and that's not bad actually. The other one starts off with Chris, and it's a cover shooter.
Okay.
And then 6, and then the other guy is Wesker's son, who has superpowers.
Makes sense.
One of these things is not like the other.
So what you're saying is we're gonna play 6 at some point.
We will play 4 before we play 6. I need another excuse to play 4 for like the 20th time.
That Netflix show looks alright though.
That looks good. We might do that for File Corrupted. Yeah, everybody. And Claire's in it.
Yeah.
And there's like an attack on the White House, and it looks like Leon's leading the Secret Service to get the president out of zombie White House. Exactly what I want. But dude, like, I'm so excited about where this is going. It's gonna be crazy. We saw so much of Chris in the trailers for 7. I mean 8.
8, yeah.
I feel like Chris has to show up. He's got to.
He's got a DLC for 7.
Yeah, he does. And there's 3 DLCs. There was like a Lost Tapes, one that shows that seems to be like Mia focused or Zoe focused, and then one that is Chris. I might actually try to play the Chris one if it's like the connection between the two.
It'll all depend on if I have time to play it before
Yeah.
we record this next bit. But I have a feeling when Chris shows up, it'll be at the very end to tie it together, like the STARS unit shows up to his house and Chris just says, "Tell me everything that happened." Roll credits.
I hope it's not.
Probably not that.
I hope it's more like interacting with Chris.
This guy is a much better writer than I could be, so I trust him more.
I want to know what life is like for Chris in a situation like this. Because 8 looks like it's a war between vampires and werewolves.
Makes sense.
What the heck happened in the war that we went from zombies being a problem to werewolves and vampires?
Is Resident Evil the worst video game universe to live in? It's up there.
It's got to be close because, dude, when things go bad, things go really, really bad. And it seems like it's getting worse. This is much worse than a Raccoon City incident.
Because that's just one city. You're like, just don't live in Raccoon City.
Well, they nuked it. They nuked it. You're fine. You're okay. Oh, Jesus. But this is good, man. This is a good game. Anything else you want to say before we go home?
I am very happy we played this, but I am never going to touch this. Once we finish this, I'm probably not going to be touching this game for a long time.
Oh, I'm never touching this again.
I'll go back to 4.
But I will know. I got to know about 8 now. Like, if once we finish this, I wonder if I will be able to stomach playing 8.
Not right away. No. I'm going to give it a couple years at least.
Because
separate
Jesus.
myself, go on a soul-searching journey, build my strength up just so I can be teared down again.
Yes. State of the Save, as always, comes out every other week. Not next week, but the week after, we will have part 2 of our RE7 discussion. We'll be playing through the end of the game. Next week, we might have a file corrupted. Maybe we won't. We have an idea. We're hoping to get it done. We'll see. We'll find out.
We'll see what plans happen.
Yeah, I hope we can have at least something. As always, you can send your emails to stateofthesave@gmail.com if you want to have them read on the podcast, like our buddy Austin's message was. You can also follow us at State of the Save on Twitter. Give us those 5-star ratings on all the podcast apps. Helps promote the show. And do the most important thing. Tell your friends. Tell your friends all about the show so we can keep getting this thing growing. Bigger we get, the more cool stuff we get to do. Yeah. Anything you want to say before we go off?
No. I was thinking of a joke and my mind just went dead.
Alright, this is a hell of a way to end the show. Y'all stay safe out there. As always, we're going to be suffering through part 2. God help us all. See ya.